Treasure Valley residents whose ancestors were affected by the Armenian genocide a century ago gathered today in Ann Morrison Park to reconnect. Reporter Carl Rippey joins us live in studio with the details in tonight's big story.
Karen, is something that these families do every year on this date. It's a tradition that's been close to their hearts for many years.
This is my mother's cross. It's a gold cross with a little ruby in the center. My mother somehow managed to preserve this on the death march she was on.
Joanne Kachigian goes to this bridge in Ann Morrison Park every year on April 24th to commemorate the beginning of the Armenian genocide of 1915, where 300 Armenian political, religious, educational, and other intellectuals were seized and murdered out of 2 million from 1915 to 1923. Her mother survived the genocide. Many other Christian Armenians were less fortunate.
So it's very meaningful to us. We don't want to forget this event in history, which is known as the first modern-day genocide.
The Armenian descendants gather every year in remembrance of those that perished.
My mother was 12 years old when the Turks massacred her whole family of 46 people. She was the only survivor with her aunt.
The Treasure Valley Armenian American community shared their stories about their ancestors this afternoon on an overcast day at Ann Morrison Park. Many of the Armenians were forced at bayonet point on the death march across the mountains and desert. Hungry, tired, and under duress, they walked to their own demise.
They would break off pieces of the cross, of gold pieces, so that they could buy food because they were starving. So she had two identical crosses. The other one has a part of it broken off.
The experience for the Armenians were so traumatizing, many held their memories for years, not wanting to talk about what happened or relive the past.
Things that she witnessed were so horrific. She never talked about any of it, and I didn't know any of her story until I was 41 years old.
The tight-knit Armenian American community respectfully gathered today and threw flowers off the footbridge in Ann Morrison Park into the Boise River in hopes of a brighter future from the sacrifices their ancestors made.
So this is in memory of those who perished.
And in 2004, Idaho Governor Dirk Kempthorne proclaimed April 24th as Idaho Day of Remembrance of the Armenian Genocide, making the Gem State the 33rd to officially recognize it. Live in studio, Carl Rippey, 6 on your side.